Hey y'all, so this is the next episode, and if you like what we've been doing so far, um, I appreciate all y'all that are tuned in. And by this time, I've already been uploaded on Spotify, Apple, and I'm on YouTube as well. So definitely make sure you go tap in. And it's the Real Talk podcast on both. I'll put them like on the video to the side or something like that with a screenshot of it. But yeah, appreciate y'all if y'all go follow there and stuff like that too. And we trying to move up and make this bigger and make this more successful for real because I really want to help this help other people, you feel me? Like I want to I really want this to help others and again, as I've said before, help myself continually. Like this is just realistically me talking back to me and giving me a better understanding of who I am as a person and how to live my life. But again, yeah, if you've been tuned in this long and made it to watching this episode, I appreciate you. And even if you're new and you just started watching this episode, appreciate you for even taking the opportunity out your day and taking the time out your day to come look at this. So, you know, I hope you enjoy and I'm gonna just get straight into it. So today I kind of wanted to talk about emotion and like not letting your emotions kind of blind you with what you do. So recently, I had an issue, and personally, I let my emotions get in the way from, I guess, making the positive and better decision. I chose to go down I guess, I don't know if destructive is the right word or it's just a very strong word, but I chose to do something that I shouldn't have and acted out of emotion because I didn't deal with the proper issues prior to and I never addressed it. I told myself, oh, I'm okay now, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just move on. And that's not the way that you should be living. Like, I keep kind of looking at problems as I'll push them to the side and I'll address them later. Like certain things, like for me, the way I guess I like to say that I deal with stuff the right way, but is that really true? Because the way that I handle things, I'll I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I don't feel this, I don't feel that. And I try to not let stuff get to me directly. And I feel like now that I'm like looking at it, you have to. Like it's not like you have to let every little thing bother you, is what I'm seeing, but you have to allow yourself to feel. And that's one of my biggest problems personally. I don't know how to let myself feel things and actually go through the direct process of feeling that emotion and like letting it move through me and then fully getting rid of it. What I do is more so if I know something's gonna make me feel like really strong emotionally, I'm gonna take it and then I'm a um I'm gonna take it and then basically I'm gonna throw it to the side and I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'll come back to it later. I will come deal with that issue later, or I'm gonna just throw it to the side till it's gone. Me throwing it to the side isn't allowing it to be gone. It's just distracting me from the now or actually dealing with it. And in this specific circumstance I'm speaking of, I threw it to the side. It got thrown right back at me, and then I handled it the wrong way. Therefore, I reacted in a negative manner, which is not who I truly am and how I typically am to react to things. And I just want to be real transparent about it. Like, I at first, I thought it was, you know, I thought I had a justified reason for doing it because I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I feel this way, so therefore I get to do this. Just because you feel a way doesn't mean that you should act out of disrespect or dishonor to who you are as a person. Like that's not it. Like, you know, I guess I've always been kind of a very strong like person on, not even I guess, I definitely am a very strong person on not like letting people kind of get you out of your character and get you out of who you are. But like I let that happen to me personally, and um it felt, it like again, it felt good at first, but then like 20 minutes later it hit and I was like, boom, like what am I doing? Like, and it was one of those things that like now I address the issue, and it's like making me again look at things in a new light. As I said, um learning how to deal with emotions the proper way, not just, again, I don't care, I can just, I'm good, I don't need anybody help, I don't need to talk to nobody. Like, talk to your people, bro. Like, I'm I'm speaking back to myself too again. Like, go talk to your people, go seek the help that you need instead of burying everything down. And if you know there's an issue, why are you still waiting around? Keep telling yourself that you're gonna fix the problem and you can handle it. You haven't handled it the last 10 times that you had an issue. You either done what I did and just threw it to the side till you didn't feel nothing, or you reacted in a negative light and then it was thrown back at you. And it either blew up in your face, or you think you won or got over on the situation and you thought you walked away smooth. Like, that's not how you want to deal with stuff. You want to allow yourself to truly feel the emotion. And as I talked in a previous pod about peace, like, you want to find that inward peace, like with yourself. And realistically, with the issue, I didn't find. I thought I was having peace in reacting in such manner, but then realistically, all it brought me was the opposite of peace. I don't know the exact word for that, but yeah, that's basically what it brought me. Like, I wasn't feeling very peaceful afterwards. I felt disturbed. Like, realistically, like right after, I had to pray because like I was I was shocked by myself. Like, for me to be placed out of who I am, you know, I was I wasn't okay with that, and I'm still not okay with that. But you know, I guess also the biggest part of dealing with your emotions is not being stuck on it. Try not to be stuck in the moment and so caught up and blinded by that emotion. Like, and like, yes, you're gonna feel things, like, and it's okay to feel things, but if you know that you're already emotional, take a step back. And if you have a decision to make, don't make it through emotion. Make it through reason. You know what I'm saying? Try to look, try to disregard that. And if you need to take the step back, then again, take that step back, and at least you know it. You're making that decision consciously instead of just instantly firing off that first thought that comes to mind because you feel this way already. Like, try to look at things objectively instead of just with everything that you have, like emotion and your bias and different things like that. But yeah, basically, like, get the help that you need. You know, like, stop waiting. Like, it's you. The only person you hurt by waiting is yourself. Like, and that's like obviously with this whole thing. Like, I had talked about it before, like me trying to kind of get help and stuff like. Oh my gosh, I kind of talked about it before with me kind of getting the help that I need and stuff like that before, but and I guess I thought, I was further than what I am, and more, I guess more, I don't know. I guess I thought I was just basically more, dang, I really don't even know. I guess I thought I was at a further point in life than I really am. And I guess basically this more so just brought me back to reality and made me realize there's still little incremental things that I have to work on and I have to actually address for myself. And like it's not even just within this one situation, it's just past situations and even upcoming future things. Like, do I want to be the type of person to react out of impulse and emotion, or do I want to be the type of person to allow myself to feel it and not react out of that and just actually react out of pure thought and reason? Like, you have to decide. There's two types of people in this situation, and which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the rational person, or do you want to be the person that's blinded by the emotion all the time? Like, that's the biggest thing I can say. Like, don't let your emotion blind the reason behind doing things. Like, that's it. Like, that's the biggest thing that I'd have to say today. Like, don't don't let that emotion blind the reason behind doing things. And like, I even go back to the past podcasts. Like, find peace, bro. Like, if you can't find that, then there's nothing else there. Like, and again, like, you may think that peace is reacting that certain way and you're gonna feel good, like getting back at the person, or like just saying this, saying that. Like, you think that's gonna be a peace. That's not. Like, it's just a false thing in your mind. Like, realistically, like, that's the devil trying to get you. Like, you letting him push you and egg you on. Oh yeah, you gotta get him. You can't take that, bro. You can't go for that disrespect, bro. You gonna let him talk to you like that? You gonna let them say that? You just gonna let that slide, bro? Like, that's the devil. And if and in hindsight, like, I was God. I'm not even gonna lie. I was God. He got me. He got me. But luckily and thankfully, I had the mindset to realize that I was in the wrong. You feel me? I'm not, I'm never going to be the type of person to at least realize that I'm not in the wrong. I'm not going to be the type of person to, again, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm imperfect. I'm telling you this right now. Like, I made a mistake. But again, I'm luckily and thankfully the type of person to realize that I made a mistake instead of going on and just, oh yeah, what I did, that's the right decision. I have full 1,000% right to do what I did, to react the way I did. I didn't. Like, I didn't. It was temporary joy. Like, it was literally temporary joy. And why waste your time on a temporary? Like, why do that? Why even react to certain things if you know it's gonna give you that temporary whatever you're doing? Like, why do it in a temporary? You feel me? Like, there's no real gain to that. It's gonna feel good in a moment, and then once that moment disappears, then how you gonna feel? You're gonna go back to either being sad, being happy, or however you felt. I don't know. However you felt before. Like, you're just gonna bounce right back to that state. And, you should stop doing that. Like, stop putting yourself in an endless cycle and being stuck. Like, you only hurt yourself in the end of the day. Like, again, get the help that you need. Talk to your people. Like, again, talk to your parents. Talk to your friends. Talk to God. Like, bro, literally after the exact situation, I had to talk to God because, like, I'm not the one that can redeem myself for that. Like, yeah, I can say, like, I'm good, but for me, the only true peace now, like, especially dealing with stuff like that and knowing that I'm in the wrong, the only, like, true way for me to reconcile with it is talking to God and throwing it back at Him. Like, listen, I'm sorry that I messed up, and that's the only way for me to forgive myself is by speaking it out loud and, you know, like, fully letting it go. You feel me? And that goes the same with, again, dealing with emotion. Like, talk to God about it. and like he gonna deliver you through it, like. And especially like in this situation, like it was, I didn't trust God. Like I didn't trust God. If I'm being 1,000% honest, like I let myself. I prayed about it before I made the decision, but then I basically just took the prayer and I threw it out the window, and I reacted, and I, I didn't trust him. I don't know why, but again, I told myself I had a justified reason, and I didn't really have it, and it's a test to me again not dealing with my emotions. Like, bro, you gotta deal with you. You gotta deal with you first before you deal with anybody else. Like you can't be trying to give yourself the excuse. Like, yes, you have the right to feel what you feel or be upset, but you don't have the right to disrespect somebody else just because of that. Like, I get it. Yes, they made you mad or they said something about you or they did this and they did that, but what type of person do you want to be in the end of the day? Like, that's really what it boils down to. Do you want to be the type of person that matches that energy and become that person? Or do you want to be better? Do you want to help yourself advance and move forward and take the steps to, a new life, a new light? Like, what do you want? You have to look at yourself and figure out, who do I want to be? Who do I want to become? Like, and without asking yourself those questions, how do you expect yourself to ever move forward? And it's not like you ask yourself that one time. You have to ask yourself that repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. Cause like for me, I guess I hadn't. If I mean, I didn't ask myself that. I haven't asked myself that really in a while. And this is one of those points where I have to ask myself, like, who am I? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to end up? Like, do I want to be stuck there, or do I actually want to make progress and get to here, bro? Like, I don't want to hold myself behind this wall. I don't want to be stuck, stagnant. You never want to be stagnant, bro. You want to make forward progress. Like, again, I said in the Peace podcast, you don't want to take 25 steps backward just to take one forward. Like, you want to see forward progress, steady incline, bro. Like, don't keep holding yourself back just because you think you have a justified reason for doing things all the time, just because you feel emotion coming through and you react off of emotion. Like, in the reality, like, that's the devil trying to attack you and you getting in your own way and you feeding into it. Like, that's what it is. You letting that become you. You letting that consume who you are as a person. You completely throwing out who God is really like telling you need to be. You going against God at that point. Like, why? Like, why react the way? Why react differently from the way that you know you should be when there's a better option? Like, you can choose that better, but you have to choose it consciously. You have to make a steady decision every day to be that better person and go forward. And it's not like seeing that dealing with your emotions and stuff like that is the easiest thing and you're going to get it right away. Because don't think that. Like, it's not going to come. It's not going to come in a second. It's not going to come right away. Like, that's not the truth at all. And I would be lying to you completely if I told you, oh yeah, you tell yourself you're going to deal with your emotions in the right way. You're going to deal with it immediately. The job going to be done and you're going to be able to move forward with your life. You had this talk with yourself right now. If you're watching this, you had that talk with yourself right now. Oh yeah, I'm going to get myself right. I'm going to get my emotions in check and then I'm going to be good. Bro, you got to put into action. What we say? What we say on here? Talk is cheap. Show me the money, bro. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. You got to move forward. You got to make forward progress. You can't just say you want to fix your emotions, but then do nothing to fix them. That's on you. And you can't blame nobody else for having those issues. You can't do that. It's not on other people. It's on you. Like you're the reason that you make your decisions. And as long as you can be transparent with yourself about that, then I mean that's already a major step in the process. You have to be accepting of who you are truly as a person. Like, don't just because again, even if you react away, like don't put that on nobody else. It all falls back to you. You're the reason that you let yourself get out of character. Yes, they might have said this, but you, again, nobody chose for you to respond that. Nobody told you you're going to respond this way. You're going to send this text. You're going to say this over this call. You're going to do this action. You're the one that did that. Nobody forced it. Nobody forced you to do that. Nobody held a gun to you and said, oh, go do this now. Like, nobody did that. So why? Like you have to become self accountable and just address these issues. So, you know, that's really my little rant for my little pod for y'all. Um, yeah, you just have to be one. You have to be self accountable. Two, be self aware. Three, talk to God and know that He's the only true way out. And four, realize that that's really the devil attacking you and telling you that you have to be that person to handle the situation, which you don't have to. And four, deal with your stuff. Don't be scared. And like I guess I was in reality, I was scared to deal with my own stuff. So, you know, I'm speaking back to myself. Don't be scared. You'll be okay. Like it's gonna suck to deal with it, obviously, but think about you on the other side. You walk with God, you gonna be able to get through anything. Like you gonna be okay. You know, I promise. Like you keep talking with God and you keep working on it and going forward. And just because you made one mistake, don't mean that like you're done. Like it don't mean that oh, I reacted out of emotion again and I kept telling myself I was going to work on it. That doesn't mean that that everything that you work towards finished or it doesn't matter. That's not the truth. Again, that's the devil coming in and telling you like that. That's the devil coming in and trying to break you down. Like that's not the case. You have to keep seeking that forward progress, as I said, and keep working on yourself for that better. You gonna make mistakes. You gonna have things happen. That doesn't mean that you're instantly imperfect or you're instantly titled as this. What are you trying to work towards? Where are you trying to get yourself? Where do you want to end up? Who do you want to be? Keep asking yourself those questions. Be conscious of your decisions. And keep going forward. And don't be scared. Don't be scared of forward progress. Don't be scared of success. Don't be scared of who you're going to be in the future. Don't be scared of that. Just accept it. And figure out what you can do to get to where you need to be and how you want to better yourself. Take those steps. Don't be scared of those steps. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for y'all. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And whatever time you watching this or listening to this, have a good night. Have a good evening. Oh, that's the same as good night, ain't it? But have a good morning. Have a good evening. And have a great afternoon, y'all. Again, appreciate y'all for listening, tuning in to whatever you did, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Appreciate y'all again. Thank you so much.